Controversy data is leveraged in order to track incidents, so typically say an oil spill or a human rights issue in a specific company of interest. The basic reason why it's difficult to do in private assets is lack of information. So there are millions and millions of private company and private assets, and no one can go over media by hand and look at each article or NGO website content in order to assess them. So what we do at SESAMm is we track more than 25 billion documents from 4 million sources, including premium media, NGO website, activist websites, etc. And we use AI in order to do this job automatically. So that allows us to track around 5 million different companies and infrastructure projects and the like, working a lot with private equity firms such as Carlyle or Warburg, for example, in order to do due diligence and portfolio monitoring on private assets at scale. It's a great question. Up to a few years ago, AI has that stigma of, hey, what about data quality and false positive, and what about a black box effect? And at SESAMm, we really solve this with two different methods. The first one is AI has evolved a lot. And so with large language models and generative AI, we're actually able to reach human level of precision in terms of analyzing and evaluating contents. And for example, we would classify controversy across 100 different risk categories. Automatically, we would assess the severity of an event using various kinds of algorithms. And we have limited but relevant humans in the loop for the methodology establishment and to make sure that we have all of the right information. In addition to that, we also care about source authority, so as to be able to identify the right media and NGOs, and so as to rank, for example, international media higher than a very local or regional media or NGO. And lastly, in terms of transparency, we have a pretty radical approach. We just give access to all of the underlying contents, not just analyst commentary or analysis of a specific case, back to the raw data, which we see as a big trend in the industry, an important one, and which really avoids that black box effect. So I think these events are particularly interesting in that context, first to share best practices. So the reality is that ESG and sustainability teams are, one, sometimes a bit isolated in organization. It's one group, not multiple groups working on the same topic. And secondly, completely overloaded with work. Like realistically, they don't have a lot of time to have that perspective. And so I think discussing with peers and with data providers and various parties in the industry is a good thing to just understand what's out there and what can help simplify the work day to day. And also, I think there's really a perspective of being able to find the right tools to measure actions towards net zero. And that's what we're trying to contribute to, like measurable KPIs and data sets, so as to be able to actually act on something concrete.